Hello guys, what's up? In my last video, I show you how we can create a Facebook app and how we can create an Instagram token and use that token to get the Instagram feed so that you can display that feed in your own website. Cool, right? So this is the continuation of that video. So if you haven't watched that video, I will highly recommend you that you go and watch that video first. Guys, I will add the link of that video in my description, so first go and watch that video because in this video tutorial we will be discussing more about the long live Instagram token, like how you can refresh that token so that the token will be validated again for another 60 days. So guys, in my last video I mentioned that the token that we created usually exists for 60 days, means after 60 days the token will expire and you will no longer be able to use that token to access your Instagram feed. So if you do not want to create another token and you want to use the token that you already created, then you need to do some additional work. So in this video we will discuss about that work, which is nothing but refreshing the token so that we can reuse the existing token without creating the another new token. So without any ado, let's begin this video. So friends, this is my local website which I shown you in my last video also, where we demonstrate the feed, right? So in that module I added this token expiry thing where I'm displaying my token expiry time in seconds. So this is just for the demonstration, so that we can check the token expiry time. So I already added the code, where I can refresh the token, and I'm displaying the token expiry time after refreshing, after calling that refresh token API. So let's first demonstrate, how that value is working. So if you look at this value, it's in second, right? So if you convert that value, you will get the value in date, which is like 59. So actually I created that token 2 or 3 days ago, but you can see the value is like 59, which means like it's close to the 60 days, right? Whereas it should be like 57 or 58 days. So let's first show you how it works. So that value should be changing, so please note that value. So let's note it down, that value somewhere here. So the value is 5 point. So if I refresh the page, behind the scene what I'm doing is I'm calling that service to refresh the token. So let's see what will happen. Boom. So if you compare the value with the previous one, you will see is 5167626. Whoa, what's happening? So guys, you can see the value is decreased, right? It doesn't look right, isn't it? But actually it is right, because if you read the long live SS token, which is the blog from the developer of Facebook, it clearly says that the long live token are valid for 60 days and can be refreshed as long as they are at least 24 hours old. So this line is very important. As long as they are at least 24 hours old. So it means as I already told you that I refreshed the token in the morning, but that token was created 3 or 4 days ago. So when you refresh the token, it's actually the token is actually equivalent to the 60 days, which is between 9.5 something, which is equivalent to 60 days, right? And we are refreshing that token again without passing the 24 hours. So that is why the value was decreased. However, if you refresh that token maybe after 2 or 3 days, you will notice that the values will again be reset to 60 days. So this is very important. So we need to know that you cannot refresh this token. You can, but it won't make any effect to your refreshing the token, because the value is not reset to 60 days. So we need to reset that values after 2 or 3 days, and since it's validated for 60 days, so I would recommend it maybe you can do every 5 days, right? And it is not possible that we need to manually refresh the token after every 5 days. So I would suggest maybe we should write some logic, like scheduling a task that will automatically call your service, or the that API which will replace your token. So in this video, firstly I will show you what is the main API that will replace the value. So guys, I will show you firstly through Postman how we'll be calling that API, and we will demonstrate that API in our code later. So let's call that API through Postman. So I'll show you the main API is this one. So it's https graph.instagram.com/refresh_access_token, and you need to pass some parameter like grant type, which is ig_refresh_token, and access token, and that is the token that we generated. So once you call this get API, you will, in the response, you will see that value in the expiring, which is the token expiry time. So we need to implement this API in our code so that we can call this API, and we can then know the expiry of the our token. As mentioned in the blog also, we need to call this API only after 24 hours, or maybe you can call it after 2 or 3 days to refresh your token. Otherwise, if you are just calling that service after every 1 hour, or after 5 minutes, you will see the token expiry date won't reset to 60 days. Instead it will be decreasing. So there is no use to call that API within an hour, 5 minutes. So this is one of the most important thing which make me confused when I first created this token, because I was a bit surprised how it is not working. And then I read that blog and I demonstrate by refreshing the token after 2 days. Then I realized that actually it works after passing the 24 hours. So you need to keep that thing. It is very, very important. So let's jump into the code. So in the code, this is the same class that we created in our last video. So this is the new method that I added, refresh token, where I'm passing the user token and then I'm creating this client object, HTTP client object, and I'm creating the query using the base API, which is nothing but instagram.com/ and passing some parameter, like refresh access token, grant type. This is something what we did on like Postman. So the only thing that we need is the user token, which we are passing over here, right? So once we have this full URL, then what I'm doing is I'm calling this method client.getString. So this will return the response in a JSON format, right? And we need to deserialize the JSON object, JSON result in an object, so that we can read the expire in value, which is this one, right? And once we have that value, I am returning that value. And if you look at the view, which is this one, so like you see, I added this token expiry thing, which you can see over here. That value I'm reading from here, so I'm calling that refresh token service and displaying that value. So let's debug it so that we can understand that it actually calling that function. So let's put the debug file over here and let's debug that. So yep, attach, and let's refresh the page. Boom. So press F11 and you will see it's filling the full query, right? This is the same query that we are passing over here. And in the response you can see, as I mentioned, we are getting some response, which is actually this one. So I deserialize that response to be the JSON object and I read that value, and that value is something like this. Cool. And I'm displaying that value over here, which will give me this value. Alright, pretty cool, right? So if you compare that value, see, it's still 59 days, right? So this is one thing that we need to do, like to create a method to refresh the token, but there is something wrong about calling this method, like, so when you add that refresh token code over here, and when you execute that module, you will see that we are calling the refresh token every time, right? Which doesn't look right, isn't it? Because as I mentioned, we don't need to refresh that token like after every 5 or every time, like, because we only need to do that after passing the 24 hours. So we have that method, but the only thing that we are doing wrong is like calling the method from the wrong place. So guys, maybe I can also give you some work, like you can think about some logic, like how you will be calling that method, like to refresh the token. And I will show you in my next video where is the appropriate place and how you can schedule a task, so that you don't call that function over here, and actually that function will be called after maybe 5, 10, whatever days, but after 24 hours. So I won't show you that process in this video because I want to make this video short and sweet. But in my next video I will show you how you can schedule a task to call that function so that it will call the refresh token for you, and you can use the existing token for another 60 days. I hope you like my video, and if you really like my video, please give your thumbs up, please like my video and subscribe my channel because I'm very new and I don't have much subscribers, so it's a learning process for me, and I would really like to get your feedback and your support, and I hope you will help me to help me in this a road where I can build up my subscriber, where I can create a new and useful video for you that will help you. And thank you so much for watching, and see you on my next video. See you guys. Bye. Take care.